Hello everyone. Today we are going to discuss scientific techniques of management. In last video we have learned principles of management, and now we are going to learn some scientific techniques. Techniques are just few rules which a businessman can use to run the business smoothly and with more profit. They are scientific techniques. Scientific techniques were given by Mr. A.W. Taylor, and there are five techniques which we have to remember. These techniques are not universal. These techniques can be applied to a specific organization. Management principles were universal. They can be applied everywhere. But these techniques can be applied only in those organizations which are having such large scale of production. So, scientific techniques of management. We are going to learn them. The first technique given by Mr. Taylor was functional foremanship. Functional foremanship. The technique says that on every individual there should be 8 boss. There should be 8 boss, and every boss should have specific work, specific task with that particular person. And they all 8 boss can be divided into 2 groups. One is production and second is planning. Planning group, planning department or production department. Production department can also be known as operational department. So we are going to hire 8 boss for every organization. Now let's learn what type of boss they are, what they are going to deal with. So first, in planning department we need a route clerk. Route clerk. Route clerk is the person who prepares the route of work of every employee. Every employee should ask him about the route, about the way how he has to work. That is route clerk. Route. He prepares the route and he belongs to the planning department. The second is instruction card clerk. Instruction card clerk. This person creates instruction. The route clerk made the route. Now the person, instruction card clerk, prepares the instructions for employees how they have to complete the task. So first the route clerk, then instruction card clerk. The third person is time and cost clerk. The time and cost clerk is responsible for making timetables. He will assign time for a particular task and he will assign cost for every task. So he is responsible for time, means how much time we have to spend, and cost, how much amount we have to spend on a particular task. That is time and cost clerk. And he also belongs to the planning department. And fourth person is discipline in charge. Discipline in charge just maintains the discipline in the organization, that everything should go according to the route, according to instruction and according to the given budget and time. That is the responsibility of discipline in charge, to check that everything. Then the second department is production department. In production department we have the first boss is gain boss. Gain boss. Gain boss is the person who actually works with the employees, who always works with the employees, and he is always there to provide resources to workers. If workers need any type of resources, they will contact to the gain boss, and gain boss is in the category of production department. Second person who is there is a speed boss. You can understand by name, speed boss is responsible to maintain the speed given by a route clerk and instruction card clerk. Whatever speed, whatever route they have suggested, the speed boss is responsible to check whether we are working according to that speed or not. The next person is there, repair boss. Repair boss. Repair boss is having a very small responsibility to repair any type of machines. If there is problem in any machine, then repair boss is responsible for maintenance of that. he is always there in production department, because there may be chances any type of machine is become unusable, then he has to repair it. That is repair boss. And the last foreman is inspector. Inspector is responsible for checking quality of the product. He will check whether the product's quality is according to our norms or not. So all these 8 boss should be there on every person. Functional foremanship, 2 department, planning and production. In planning, route clerk prepares the route, instruction card clerk prepares the instruction according to route, time and cost clerk, he prepares the timetable and cost sheet according to route and instruction, and discipline in charge, who checks that all these 3 things are doing according to their given path or not. In production department, first is gang boss, responsible for resources, then speed boss, responsible for the speed of task, repair boss, responsible for maintenance of machines, and last is inspector, who inspects the quality of product, whether the product is according to given quality standard or not. It was the first scientific technique of management. Now, the second technique is simplification and standardization. It is a combination of 2 different techniques. One is simplification and second is standardization. Here simplification does not mean simplify the work. It says we should simplify the product range. We should simplify the product range. If we are having a product range which is very long, so we should find those products which have less sale and we should eliminate those products, and that is simplification of product range. So simplification does not mean simplification of work, but it says about simplification of product range. Second is standardization. It is quite easy and very important. Standardization says we should make a standard of everything. Here standard does not mean a high quality. Here standard means we should prepare a standard for everything, for person, for machine, for raw material, for quality, and we should maintain that standard. And because of the standard, your product will get a good reach in the market. Your product can be easily identified by all the persons. That is standardization. That was the second technique of scientific technique of management. Simplification means simplify the product range, and standardization means prepare standard for everything. The third technique is good. It is very good technique to learn, that is work study. Work study says we should do 4 types of studies. We should study first fatigue. We should do the fatigue study at first. Fatigue says the time, how much time you get to be tired. थकान कितनी देर में होती है. So we have to learn about the fatigue of our employees. We have to check 3 things. After how much time an employee gets tired, and for how much time we should give him rest so that he can get the refreshness again, and how many times in a day we have to give him such type of rest. 3 things are learned in fatigue study. First, after how much time an employee gets tired. Second, for how much time we should give them a break. And third, how many times in a day we should give them such type of breaks. That is fatigue study. Second study is time study. Time study says we should check an average employee. We should check an average employee for a particular task, and we should also check how much time he is taking to complete that task. And after watching that, after checking that, the time should be applied to the whole organization. For example, if we are a manufacturer of table and we see that an average employee takes 10 minutes to assemble a table, we have seen him around 100 times, and on an average he takes 10 minutes to assemble a table. So we should apply 10 minutes standard to the whole organization, that every employee should assemble a table in 10 minutes. That is time study. We should use stopwatch for the calculation of time. The third is motion study. Motion study says we should check movements of employees. How many times he is moving from his place or for a particular task, and if there is any unproductive movement, we should eliminate them. If we eliminate unproductive movement, then the efficiency of our employee will increase. That is motion study. And last is method study. There may be more than one way to complete a task. There may be more than one method to produce something or to get something done. So we should apply all the methods one by one and find out which one is the best method, and that method should be applied to the organization. So all these 4 studies we have to do in work study. First fatigue study, second one is time study, then motion study, and last one is method study. It was the third technique of Taylor, given by Taylor, scientific technique. First was functional foremanship, second simplification and standardization, and third is work study. Now fourth study, the fourth scientific technique. Differential piece-weight system. It is a magical technique to improve the efficiency. Differential piece-weight system. According to this technique, we should decide the rate of work, not the wages. The rate of work according to efficiency. If an employee is working with more efficiency, then rate should be increased. Not about the wages, it is about the rate. Piece wage rate should be increased if efficiency is more, and wage rate should be decreased if efficiency is less. Let us take one example. The target given to all the employees is to prepare 10 piece per day, and for every piece we will give them 100 rupees. For every employee we will give 10 piece target, and the price shall be 100 rupees per piece. So if a person prepares 10 pieces in a day, he will get 1000 rupees. But if we apply the differential piece-weight system, it says if anyone is preparing more than 10, then the rate should be changed to 110. So let us assume that one person has prepared 11 pieces. If someone has prepared 11 pieces, we will pay him according to the new rate, that is 110. So how much amount he will get? 1210. He will get 1210. Just by preparing one more piece, he will get 210 extra. So what everyone will try? Everyone will try to produce more units, because he will get just for one more unit 210 extra rupees. One more thing is there. If one employee is not efficient, he is not able to prepare 10 pieces, the rate should be reduced to 9 pieces. So if someone is prepared 9 pieces only, he will get by 90, that is 810. Just by preparing one piece less, he has to lose a lot of amount. If he prepare 10 pieces, he will get 1000. But if he prepare 9 pieces, he will get only 810 rupees. Just for one piece, he has to lose 190 rupees, and that is the magical technique of scientific technique, differential piece-weight system. Now, the last scientific technique is mental retention. mental revolution. What mental revolution says, that always employees think that they are doing more but getting less salary, and what managers think, that they are giving more salary but the work is less. So this type of thinking should be avoided. That is mental revolution. There should be a revolution in the mind of all the persons, in the minds of all the employees, and in the mind of all the managers, that we should work in unified way, and that is principle of the technique of mental revolution. I hope all 5 techniques are clear in your mind. Let us learn again. The first was functional foremanship, second was standardization and simplification, third was work study, fourth was differential piece-based system, and last, fifth technique is mental revolution. The topic gets over. Thank you.